And when the spotlight left, so did the people. The applause faded. The cameras moved on.
When the spotlight left, what was still there?
I'm the guy in your dreams that you had last night. I'm the Benz with the 20s that you wanna drive. Tell me, can you handle it?
Yes,
This
indeed.
is legendary.
Yes, indeed.
This is dope. What's the age? Who's the oldest right now?
Me.
I'm 32. How old are you?
32?
Yeah. What the fuck
Cap.
that mean?
You is not.
He is not
Cap,
32,
you big
bro.
cap. What y'all saying I look older? You look older than me, gang.
You ain't not 32, cuz. That nigga know he lying.
Basically, what he's trying to say is, I'm the new Omarion. It would never be like we trying to stunt on the homie or keeping the brand alive.
This is a lot for me right now. I wasn't expecting to walk into this.
I thought everybody was gonna come with they Ray 2K.
Yeah. Really not realistic to me. Neither one of y'all or myself is at the level of what B2K left off.
The group broke, the rise and fall of B2K. At their peak, B2K was everywhere. The videos, the magazine covers, the screaming crowds, the platinum plaques. 4 young men from Los Angeles who had taken teen R&B and turned it into a phenomenon that nobody in the industry could ignore. They looked unstoppable. They looked like they had figured it out. But behind the music, behind the choreography, behind the carefully managed image, something was fracturing, something dark. And when it finally came apart, it didn't just end a group. It exposed an industry. This is Forgotten Fame. The channel that goes past the choreography, past the platinum records, past the reunion tours, to find out what was really happening inside the machine that built them. Today, B2K, the hits, the hysteria, the breakup nobody fully explained, and the allegations that changed how the entire story gets told. Before the fame. This story starts in Los Angeles. 4 teenagers, separate backgrounds, same hunger. Omarion, Omari Ishmael Granberry. Born November 12, 1984, Inglewood, California. Youngest of 6 children, performing since he could walk. Local talent shows, dance competitions, anything with a stage. Raz B. Demario Monte Thornton. Born June 13, 1985. His family was embedded in the entertainment world. His cousin was rising R&B artist Marcus Houston, a connection that would prove significant in ways nobody was advertising. J. Boog, Jarrell DeMonte Houston. Born October 9, 1986. South Central Los Angeles, built for harmonies, the quietest one, the one who let the music do the talking. Lil Fizz, Drew Frederick. Born November 26, 1985. New Orleans, Louisiana. Relocated to Los Angeles, brought a different texture to everything the group touched. 4 teenagers, different enough to create dimension, similar enough to move as one unit, assembled in the late 1990s under manager Chris Stokes. And the machine started building. The breakout moment. B2K signed to Epic Records. Debut single, It didn't just chart. It landed hard. A confident, swagger-soaked record that announced 4 teenagers as something the industry needed to take seriously immediately. The debut album followed, then Pandemonium in 2003, then the record that changed their commercial ceiling entirely. Bump, 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 a collaboration with P. Diddy that hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, weeks at the top, not a fluke, a statement. Then came You Got Served in 2004, a dance film built around Omarion and Marquez Houston that grossed over $40 million on a $5 million budget.
What?
Who is it?
Is he all right? All right, tell him to sit tight. I'm on my way.
Rad. I'm like a father figure around the neighborhood to all the young kids. I provide a warehouse space for them to work off a lot of energy and to battle through dance.
It's a movie about dancing.
Dance films coming back to the forefront, and especially this type of dance film, because the energy from clubs and battles is something that I don't think people see enough of and don't quite understand. And to see just that raw, nasty energy. But it's like
Teen magazines, radio rotations, sold-out shows, screaming fans who memorized every lyric, every move, every interview. B2K wasn't a moment, they were a movement. Life inside the spotlight. Here is what the machine looked like from the inside. 4 teenagers, millions of dollars in motion, a manager with total operational control, a record label watching the numbers, a fan base that needed to be maintained and monetized on schedule. They were minors when most of this started. The schedules were brutal. The image management was total. Every public appearance, every interview, every lyric, filtered through adults who controlled the infrastructure those 4 teenagers depended on entirely.
Once he tried to penetrate me, and then I told him I was bleeding. I said, it hurts. Wow, what the fuck? It hurt, dude. It hurt. It hurt me. I'm a kid. So he was like telling me that it's okay. I was like, okay, it's okay. And I told Taz, when I told Taz about the shit, she didn't believe me. And I told her, I said he has a black mole on his left nut.
You talking about Chris's dick? Me and Boog was in the room together. Chris Stokes put us in the room together and made us do stuff together. You feel me? Me and Jarrell Houston. You're not gonna sweep anything under the rug. I was molested by Chris Stokes and Marcus Houston, and that's the truth. Period.
And that's the truth, and you can say that. So I just think it gets kind of messy when you got to put other people's truth out there. I don't think that's your place to judge other people.
Well, my truth is the fact that Chris Stokes had me and Jarrell Houston in a room sucking each other's dick. My truth is that, hold on, Judy, hold on.
This is not unique to B2K, but it matters, because when total control over young people sits inside the hands of unchecked adults, the environment that creates is never as clean as the product it produces. The product was flawless. The environment is where the real story lives. January 2004. B2K dissolved. No farewell tour, no final album, no coordinated statement, just over. The official explanation, creative differences. The language the industry uses when the actual reason is something it doesn't want on record.
We started.
We discussed on the phone the rumors about financial issues with you all and saying the money wasn't coming up right when you were doing tours and stuff. What exactly, can you elaborate on what happened or how deep it went?
Yeah, we give you 2 examples. Scream Tour 2, Scream Tour 3, we didn't make any money.
Not one penny. And when you say you didn't make any money, like what do you mean you didn't make?
Omarion moved forward. Solo deal. Solo album. O dropped in 2005. Debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200. The industry had already decided who the asset was. The other 3 weren't part of that calculation. And for a few years, the group's dissolution sat in the public record as a quiet, unexplained footnote. The kind that gets filed away and forgotten. Then Raz B turned on his camera.
They should. And you know what? That means a lot to me.
That's all I'm saying. Well, I can't say I'll leave you because I'm saying my loyalty lies with my brother,
and your brother's loyalty lies with Chris Stokes.
I know it do, but I still got to.
And I respect that. And I respect that. And I was just calling you out of respect. You know what I'm saying? Out of respect. But I tell you.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to, they ain't gonna get in the room and say in front of my mic, he ain't gonna say in front of Michael Houston he did that shit. He ain't gonna say. My dad in the room and y'all in the room and you saying say that you said this, he ain't gonna say that. He's not gonna say that.
You know what? That's not what I want. But you know what? God is the ultimate revenger. I'm not trying to seek revenge. I'm just like, I'm letting it be known.
Vengeance is the Lord's.
I'm not lying. You know what I'm saying? I'm not lying about a thing.
Be home in a minute, Danny. I'll talk to y'all when hey Mario, I'll holler back at you, man.
God bless, Pops.
I want to cry right now. I feel so bad for you. And I feel bad because it was my brother that did it. You a grown-ass man now.
The reason why all them getting spiritual and getting into their Bible is because I invited all them to come out to my church. Like I said, I've been filled with the Holy Ghost and speaking in tongues since I was a baby. And Chris was compulsively crying. I'm like, man, I forgive you. He ain't never seen God before. He actually seen God manifest in the flesh through me because I was able to forgive him. But I consider myself to be spiritual. I'm not just to stand in the gap for him. He leaves me no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom's over here. The group is back together. And we've all came back together. And we're just moving forward. And I'm not afraid to say anything. And I'm just letting y'all know my brother is really, really mad. And he just kind of doesn't care, Pops. He's kind of on some suicidal, I don't care about going to jail type shit. And I've been talking to my brother. So I was like, you know what you need to do? You need to reach out to Marcus. You need to reach out to his dad. You need to reach out to them. And we need to come together and see how we can talk about this and maybe cry and pray. And I can let this go before it gets really, really bad. Because, like, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, people kind of just don't care.
Maury going on radio overseas and in New York saying I have bipolar and that I take pills. Answer that question, because it only came from one place. Because right now I'm upset. I'm upset. And I'm affected. And I've been affected since I was 13 years old, Marcus Houston, since I came to live with y'all. So do me a hold on, let me get it out, and I'm gonna shut up, and hold on, let me say what I gotta say. I didn't tell you to shut up. I said let me humble myself, and then I said I'm gonna shut up so you can talk. I just want to get out. Why is Omari Marcus, you're not listening to me. I called you. Nigga, I called you. I called you this morning, Marcus. Why is Omari? I'm trying to talk to you, but you're yelling at me. You're yelling at me. Nigga, fuck you, bitch. Yeah.
Raz B of B2K. I would like to send a public apology for some tapes that were leaked without my authority. And I just want to say that those allegations are not true with Chris Stokes and Marcus Houston. And I apologize for any hurt that this may cause publicly, financially.
Your man, your former boy, Raz B, has said crazy things about you, fam. Literally,
again and again.
He called you a pedophile.
Yeah, he did.
And that is, respond to Raz B calling you a pedophile, man. You got to speak on that.
It was a big joke to me. Like, you know, and if you think about it, if you think about the time frames when this guy starts up, it's always around my album coming out, my album release, and now my movie release is coming out, so he's talking more and he's lying. But it's all lies. It's all BS, and, you know, I mean, he just...
These opportunities, you're saying? Like, he only talks when you're about to drop something.
He jumps on the fact of he's an attention whore, you know, and he wants that attention because B2K was huge. Everybody know how huge B2K was. Yeah. And it's like, when something like that is stripped from you and you can't get any fame, you know, you go to the extreme measures, and the dude he's psycho. So.
But he's up. YouTube was still young. Social media as a cultural weapon was still finding its shape. Raz B uploaded a video. In it, he made direct, serious allegations against Chris Stokes, the man who had managed B2K from the beginning, and against Marcus Houston, Raz B's own cousin. The allegations were not vague. He alleged sexual abuse. He alleged exploitation. He alleged that he and other minors in Stokes' orbit had been victimized while the machine ran around them. The internet fractured immediately. Some believed him, some dismissed it. Some watched and didn't know what to do with what they were seeing. Then, Raz B retracted the statements, said it wasn't true. Then, years later, he reaffirmed the original allegations. The back and forth gave the story an instability that made it easier for the industry to file away without addressing. The allegations never disappeared. They just got buried in a space between confirmation and denial, which is exactly where powerful people prefer dangerous stories to stay. Let's be precise about what is confirmed and what is not. Confirmed, Raz B made public allegations of sexual abuse against Chris Stokes and Marcus Houston in 2007. This is documented. Confirmed, Raz B later retracted those allegations publicly, also documented. Confirmed, Raz B subsequently reaffirmed the original allegations on multiple occasions across the years that followed. Confirmed, Chris Stokes denied all allegations. No criminal charges were filed against him in connection with Raz B's claims. Confirmed, Marcus Houston denied all allegations, alleged, not legally confirmed, that the retraction was financially motivated, that Raz B was paid or pressured to walk back what he had said on camera. Alleged, not legally confirmed. That other individuals inside the B2K orbit experienced similar exploitation during the group's active years. What the record shows, stripped of everything speculative, is a teenager who made serious allegations, retracted them under unclear circumstances, and then spent years reaffirming them while the legal system produced no resolution. That pattern is not evidence of guilt, but it is evidence of a person carrying something real inside a system that had every structural incentive to contain the story rather than confront it. Omarion rebuilt methodically. His solo career found genuine commercial ground. Love and hip-hop Hollywood introduced him to a new audience. The Millennium Tour in 2019 brought B2K back together. Sold-out arenas, full-circle nostalgia, everything the fans had wanted for 15 years. Then the tour became its own story. It emerged that Lil Fizz had been in a relationship with April Jones, Omarion's ex and the mother of his children. The fallout was public, messy, and documented in real time across social media. Omarion's response became legendary. He stayed quiet. He performed every night. He didn't fracture publicly. The internet called it unbothered.
And now you have Lil Fizz and April are a thing on social media.
Right.
And the optics are just crazy from the outside looking in. If I were to compare it to anything, it would be like, you look at your phone and you have, Takeoff cuddling with Cardi B.
To publicly apologize to you, man. I did some fucked up shit to my brother. Some snake ass shit. And I'm not proud of it, man. So I want to sit here humbly and sincerely apologize to you. For any turmoil or dysfunction I caused between you and your family, bro.
He called it growth. Raz B has lived a complicated and publicly visible life since. Episodes of instability, ongoing social media presence, the visible weight of someone carrying something significant for a very long time. J Boog pursued a solo career in R&B and reggae with steady, if quieter, momentum. Lil Fizz has remained in public life through music and reality television. Chris Stokes continues to work in the entertainment industry. B2K's story is not really about a group that broke up. Groups break up every year. That's not the story. This is about what happens when children are placed inside a commercial machine with no one whose primary job is protecting them from the machine itself. The hits were real. The talent was real. The connection those four teenagers built with their audience was real. But underneath it, contracts they were too young to fully understand. Adults with unchecked authority. Financial structures that didn't serve the people generating the revenue. And when serious allegations surfaced, an industry that responded with strategic silence and a legal system that produced no accountability. The music industry and the children's entertainment industry operate differently on the surface. At the structural level, they are the same building, different floors, same architecture, same gap where the protection should have been. They were teenagers with the world watching. The talent was undeniable. The chemistry was real. The music still lands, even now, 2 decades later. But fame didn't protect them. The machine didn't protect them. And the allegations that surfaced after, the back and forth, the silence, the legal void, those didn't get resolved. They got buried under the next news cycle, the next tour, the next story the industry needed you focused on instead. B2K gave a generation something it still holds on to. What they got back doesn't balance the ledger. So here's the question we'll leave you with. When allegations against the people who control young talent go unresolved for decades, is that a failure of the system? Or is that exactly how the system was designed to work? Because the answer matters, and so does who's still running it.
And when the spotlight left, so did the people. The applause faded. The cameras moved on.
When the spotlight left, what was still there